What if I told you that this squirrel was the Grand Canyon's most dangerous animal? And that's not even the most unbelievable fact I'm about to tell you. Grand Canyon National Park is home to mountain lions, scorpions, rattlesnakes, and coyotes. But according to the National Park Service, none of these animals are more dangerous than the rock squirrel. Each year, the pesky rodent accounts for more injuries inside the park than all other animal inhabitants combined. Key factors in these injuries are proximity and underestimation. Most Grand Canyon wildlife is either secretive or nocturnal, but the rock squirrels are neither. They're diurnal and often hang around tourists looking for food. And due to their overall comfortability with humans, many visitors assume the squirrels are friendly, but they're not. Rock squirrel bites and scratches are by far the most common animal-related injury inside the park, and park rangers are constantly warning visitors of what's come to be known as the Grand Canyon's most dangerous animal. So next time you visit, just remember, don't feed the animals. But did you know there was a time when Yellowstone National Park didn't only allow you to feed wildlife, but they actually encouraged it? And you won't believe what animal they were letting visitors feed. In the early 1900s, bear watching was a popular attraction inside Yellowstone National Park. So popular, in fact, that park rangers actually established a feeding site known as the lunch counter. Each day, hundreds of visitors would gather here to watch as bears feasted on trash from the local hotels. But unfortunately, the bears grew too comfortable with tourists and started begging for food. Some extremely bold bears even started shaking down cars demanding food. This led to a spike in bear-related injuries. As a result, in the 1940s, Yellowstone completely closed all bear feeding sites. Since then, despite a consistent increase in park attendance, bear-related injuries have actually decreased dramatically. At this point though, the bears were so reliant on trash for food that they had become incapable of hunting for themselves. And then as a last-ditch effort to return the American grizzly to its original wildness, Yellowstone removed all trash dumps from the park in 1972. Without garbage, many bears began aggressively raiding cabins looking for food. But over time, the risky gamble paid off and the bears returned to their natural instincts. But despite Yellowstone's reckless early years, bear-related deaths have always been incredibly rare. And since its inception in 1872, Yellowstone has had more drownings than it has fatal bear attacks. Your chances of getting killed by a bear are about the same as getting killed by a falling tree. This is because bears are not normally outwardly aggressive unless they feel threatened or they're provoked. Some bear-inhabited parks have never even had a fatal bear attack. For example, did you know in Olympic National Park that mountain goats are statistically more deadly than bears? In 2010, while exploring the park, a hiker found himself face to face with an aggressive goat. He tried to shoo the goat away, but the goat lunged. The man was knocked to the ground and severed an artery in the process. The goat then stood over the severely injured hiker, charging at any potential rescuer. By the time a helicopter eventually scared the goat away, it was too late. The 63-year-old man was pronounced dead at the scene. This became the first and only animal-related death in the history of Olympic National Park. Bears, on the other hand, have never even accounted for a single documented injury inside the park. This doesn't mean the bears are friendly though. And the National Park Service recommends if you see a bear, maintain a distance of at least 150 feet. And you should probably maintain an even further distance from those vicious Grand Canyon rock squirrels, because we all know they're the real problem. As a matter of fact, you have a better chance of being bitten by a rock squirrel than meeting somebody who has thru-hiked the entire length of the Grand Canyon. This end-to-end trek consists of over 700 miles of dangerously uneven terrain without the benefit of a dedicated trail system. The journey requires months of planning and preparation, and the hike itself takes over 50 days to complete. As of 2023, only 12 people have completed the hike in its entirety. For perspective, that's the exact same number of people that have set foot on the moon. There may be 12 people that have hiked the entire length of the Grand Canyon, but this next fact can only be said about one person. Meet Roy Sullivan, aka the Human Lightning Rod. A park ranger from Shenandoah National Park, Roy earned his unfortunate nickname by being struck by lightning, not once, not twice, but 7 times. Despite numerous injuries, Roy actually survived all 7 strikes, but it got so bad that he would carry around water just in case he got struck by lightning and his hair caught fire. Eventually, the Guinness Book of World Records caught wind of Roy's bad luck, and they officially recognized him as the person struck by lightning more times than anybody else on Earth. Here's the thing though, there weren't any witnesses for most of Roy's strikes. So the question I have for you is, do you think they actually happened? Now the saying goes lightning never strikes in the same place twice, but what if I told you thieves do? This is the famous saguaro cactus. Known for its massive size, the saguaro grew to be on average 40 to 50 feet tall, with the tallest one ever recorded reaching a staggering 78 feet. With an estimated value of over $100 per foot, the cacti are repeatedly targeted by thieves. And as a way of deterring theft, Saguaro National Park began microchipping their namesake saguaro cactus. Although not trackable, the RFID chips can only be detected using a specialized reader, and the chips are similar to the same ones used in cats and dogs. This is a deterrent that park rangers hope keep their 50-foot cacti safe. Now that height is tall for a cactus, but it's nothing compared to the trees at Redwood National Park. Let's take a look at a coast redwood named Hyperion, aka aka the world's tallest tree. At 379 feet tall, Hyperion is nearly 100 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty, and you would only need to stack Hyperion 5 times for it to be taller than the United States' tallest building, One World Trade Center. But let's take a look at things that Hyperion's actually taller than. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, Big Ben, a space shuttle, and every single roller coaster in the entire world except for these 3. But as tall as those 3 roller coasters are, you could stack them and they would still be completely underwater if you started at the bottom of Crater Lake. At 1,949 feet deep, Crater Lake is the deepest lake in the United States. And as a matter of fact, there are only 5 skyscrapers in the entire world taller than Crater Lake is deep. But being deep isn't the only thing the lake's known for. It's also one of the snowiest places in the United States. With an average annual snowfall well over 500 inches, there's only a few months per year where the park isn't snowed in. I once visited in the middle of June, and a majority of the park was closed due to large amounts of snow. Another place known for large amounts of snow is Mount Everest, the world's tallest mountain. Or is it? Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, home to arguably the world's tallest mountains. Surrounded by the Pacific Ocean, Mauna Loa is the world's largest active volcano, and technically speaking, it's taller than Mount Everest. The peak is nearly 30,000 feet above the volcano's base. That's 1,000 feet taller than Mount Everest, and it's not even the tallest peak on its own island. That honor goes to Mauna Kea, but unfortunately, the majority of each volcano is underwater, meaning it doesn't count towards the official height. This means they're not just shorter than Mount Everest, but they're not even the tallest mountains inside a national park. That record belongs to Alaska's Mount Denali. But I'll save that for another time, because the national park system is so big and diverse that there are hundreds of facts I could list. So if you know an interesting fact that I might have missed, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. But for now, my name is Crash, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.